As a prelude to the Danganronpa tier list I'm making when I hit 100 subs, I thought I'd talk about Danganronpa. Well, more specifically, how I feel nothing for it. As a complete, fanboy dick sucker, meat writer, I always loved the franchise. I was found deeply in love with it. I loved the murder mystery, the characters, the design, the music, the world, the lore. I liked the villain like Junko, who's still dead, definitively dead, but still lives rent-free in everyone's brains. But what always got me about it was the fact that I always played it with such a heartless feeling to it. And that's speaking a lot, because every other game or any other media, I'd be having the emotions, I'd be having the heart as if I'm there witnessing it myself. Like, say, if I'm playing, I don't know, a COD game, I put myself in the shoes of someone I'm playing. I'm like, I'm there watching these people struggle or something like that, as an example. But with Danganronpa, I'm just completely stoic. I have no heart for it. I think because Danganronpa 1 pretty much threw that in the garbage as soon as Mizuno died. I don't know why, but the moment Mizuno was dead and Leon was convicted for killing her, I had no heart for it, because it was just like, yeah, I know that was gonna go. Half the people I like are gonna end up dead, and half the people I don't like are still alive. Danganronpa 1 pretty much solved that for me, and Danganronpa 2 solidified that for me, and then I felt nothing when V3 came out. It's like, yeah, I knew Kaede was gonna die, I knew that half of the good ones are gonna be dead, barring Tanko. I can't stand her feminist ass. Every Twitter activist is like literally Tango. Moving on. But I think V3 was the reason why I kind of lost feeling Danganronpa. And no, it's not because of Chapter 6, because as much as I want to dick ride that one to death, I just can't. At least not yet. But yeah, there's also Ultra Despair Girls, which is more or less just the same. Actually, Ultra Despair Girls, it didn't count, because I actually did have feelings for that one, because I care about the Warriors of Hope and their traumatic passes. I care about Kumaru and Toko, which is like, I'm actually having feelings for once. I actually have a heart, which is kind of weird. After 2 mainline games, I suddenly felt soulless. Oh yeah, and don't forget to toss in Danganronpa 3 Future Arc. Oh man, I'm telling you, that one left me at peak emptiness. Mainly because everyone just died lonely deaths. I feel bad. I don't know why. It's just when it came to Danganronpa 3 Future Arc, I had no feelings for it. I think the almighty Lolly has pretty much said it best. Everyone has died alone and afraid in a lonely grave. Like literally everyone except for like one nigga from the new Danganronpa stuff, and we don't know what happened to him after that. Everyone's just dead. It's like, wow, I love all these characters and I got to know them. Actually, technically 2 people survived, but it still felt like that no one survived that. Does anyone else feel like that Danganronpa 3 was kind of like rushed or didn't have enough time to get their episodes out? I had a complete concept of Danganronpa 3 just doing the Despair arc first, as it's like its complete season 1, like, oh yeah, this is the whole prequel. Because I looked at it and it was like it was meant to be a whole slice of life, and then it went down the shitter, which will start up season 2's like not Ultra Despair Girls, like the Future arc, where that way it'll take place and Future Arc's doing his own thing and everyone got their own motivations and stuff. Cause I feel like a lot of characters in Future Arc did not get enough time to even have any semblance of a character. They just died and that was it. Move on with my day. So I wish that could have happened. Cause I feel like Future Arc, half the characters should at least lived. At least. Or would have gave some sappy backstory about what they do, why they do the things that they do. So it feels utterly robbed and honestly kind of gutted. The fact that they had 2 fake out deaths was also a middle finger to me. Actually, technically 3. I like the fact that the Future Arc had like 3 fake out deaths, which is depressing. It's just like, come on guys, budget's running low. I know you put all the budget in like V3, but Jesus, this is kind of tragic. I still watched it. I even still watch Hope Arc. And what that said being done about this, still going on about Danganronpa 3, I can honestly say that Hope Arc and Danganronpa 3 alone does not really give me the satisfaction that I've been looking for the trilogy of Danganronpa. Of the Hope's Peak trilogy. I honestly feel empty finishing that. I was like, wow, it's kind of cool that Hajime and them are still okay, and even though everyone except for like Chiaki's fine. And oh look, everyone like Makoto and them are okay, and what? Kyoko's alive? Who would have guessed? You know? I kind of felt gutted. I mean, it's not a bad ending. It's just like this is the ending to the trilogy. This is what's wrapping up of who knows how many years of Danganronpa this been here for. This is the finale. The hell is this cookie? What the hell is this cookie cutter shit? I feel sad. I feel robbed. And don't get me started on V3 and how V3 absolutely gutted the franchise. I'm being honest, it did. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, V3's ending was good. Yes, it's understandable that we had to let Danganronpa go so the characters could have happy endings, because it's like some weird Yoko Taro symbolism that we, the fan base, is the reason why Danganronpa keeps happening. That why these people keep dying the way they die, because up to us that we exist, that they suffer. I get it, you know. I understand. Not really, but I'm trying to pretend I at least do. But what comes to it, it's just like V3 going to that ending. I don't know. Like I told my friend at first that yeah, this feels kind of gutted. Not gutted, but it feels like V3 has written itself into a corner in terms of the trilogy, in terms of Danganronpa overall, because it just feels like, well, oh well, guys, time to go home. No more Danganronpa, because V3 has pretty much effectively retconned the whole series from the beginning to now. And it's really more than just a game, a fucking what do you call it, reality TV show that everyone watches, which is like, what the actual fuck? What's the whole point of all this? All this suffering, all these emotions and values, which I didn't have beforehand, which is rather a spit in the hand and a slap on the nuts. I'm hurt, you know. But when it comes to V3, I think what made me mad about it was the fact that I wasn't mad. I think I was honestly more afraid that there'll be no more Danganronpa, because I got into it very late, honestly. I think around like 2014 or so, 2014, 2016. I played the first two games and I was happy for it. I remember watching a YouTube video for like 11 hours of just like Ultra Spare Girls and all its cutscenes. Then watching like V3's executions and people talking about it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then watching Danganronpa 3, the anime, and even watching Danganronpa 1, the animation. I was like, I was hyped for this. I love this series, this franchise. And what made me scared about, you know, V3 in chapter 6 was the fact that this could potentially be it. This could be like the last game in the franchise, the last thing. But I got reassured that someone was like, oh yeah, this is only just merely, like, I guess like the end of continuity. It can still keep going, but it'll no longer be, you know, me writing the Hope's Peak arc, the Junko arc. It can now just be whatever it wants, which is kind of hard to swallow, because weren't they in development of like Ultra Spare Girls 2, which is still like, oh yeah, how that's gonna take place? How is Maki, Himiko, and like Soichi gonna go on from this point? You know, it's like there's so much things left to do in Danganronpa. And then we got Danganronpa S, which is kind of just more like a expansion pack for V3's like future plan, besides just having more like dialogue and stuff. I wonder, is it voiced? Is it voiced? I hope it is, because you have all the characters there, so it's kind of like, you gotta throw me the lob or something. Oh man, I think that's gonna be it for today, because I just want to talk about Danganronpa and just be like, oh yeah, this is kind of goofy. But other than that, this, like I said, this is like a filler prologue while I'm still working on that tier list video. Give me to 100 subs and you'll probably see that sooner than you think. Well then, I've been your lovely host, and until then, I bid you next